Welcome to the Mycotoxin Prediction forecast brought to you by Biomin, the world leader in mycotoxin management. This week we will look into a predicted risk for mycotoxin contaminations in European corn. Wet weather and high humidity are critical for infection with toxin-producing fungi during flowering time and continue to be critical for the accumulation of mycotoxins in the crop. By now, crops are about to or already have been harvested in many European regions. Growing areas in southern and eastern Europe were first, with harvests progressing west, reaching coastal regions along the Atlantic and the North Sea as late as November. September was dry and very warm in many areas of Europe. As crops progressed through grain filling in Central Europe, the weather had dried up from rains in August with no more than 1 or 2 days with precipitation of 2 hours or more, and average daily temperatures reached up to 20 degrees Celsius in France. Consequently, our predicted risk for deoxynivalenol in Central Europe is lower than expected for rainy weather in September, but remains overall very high. The last 2 weeks of September saw rain returning to Eastern and Central Europe, in particular around the Alps, but with continued little precipitation for England, the Benelux states and western regions of Germany. The weather forecast for October predicts increased rain events with 9 up to 13 days of rain between France and Germany in this 15-day period. Most rain is to be expected in the Benelux states, England and Denmark. Based on the current weather forecast, the predicted risk for aflatoxins is highest for countries that experienced hot conditions favorable for growth of the fungal pathogen, in particular Italy, the Balkan states and Turkey. The average risk for harvests to contain aflatoxin concentrations higher than 2 parts per billion is given here as percentage average for major European regions, giving more weight to higher yielding areas. The highest risk is calculated for southern countries, with a predicted chance of 18% of harvests containing aflatoxin concentrations above the threshold. High concentrations of fumonisins are expected in countries with high humidity combined with higher than average temperatures. The predicted chance for harvests containing 500 parts per billion fumonisins or more is highest with 50% in southern European countries. The risk for Central and Eastern European countries is estimated with 28% and 19% respectively. Contaminations with deoxynivalenol also depend on rainfall, but accumulation is associated with cooler, more temperate conditions. The predicted risk is therefore moderate in southern European countries with high temperatures and little to no rain, but risk is high throughout the rest of Europe, with up to 61% chance to exceed the threshold level of 150 parts per billion. Analogous to deoxynivalenol, zearalenone is predominantly produced under cooler conditions. The highest contamination levels are to be expected in northern Eastern Germany and the Czech Republic. The predicted chance for contaminations higher than 50 parts per billion are highest in Central European countries and Northern European countries, with 32% and 28% respectively. Keep tuned in for our European mycotoxin prediction and occurrence updates as maize harvests continue throughout the continent.